Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Man, people, I know I have a lot of jokes here and it's funny a lot, but it's all based and rooted in some kind of truth. And when I tell you that California will not be out stupided, damn it, that's what I mean. You got the rest of the country canceling this and shutting down that and pulling down statues and shit. And California's over here, way over here on the left coast, like, dude, oh, wait, bro. I'm still California. I can out stupid all of you. And today is no different. So let's see, where will we start? Will we start with the Oakland School District canceling its campus police program? Or will we start with Needles and Shit, California, aka San Francisco, now imagine this. San Francisco has these hotels from low-end hotels, you know, the Super 8s and stuff, all the way up to, what is it, the Continental or something, or the Mark Hopkins. These real expensive 4 and 5 star hotels. Well, in these hotels, they thought this would be a good place. Now, hold on, before I tell you that, in these hotels, they have essential workers, like healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, that kind of thing. But they decided it would be a good idea to put some homeless people in there too, or what they call people without shelter. Just like people of color, right? Or colored people, same thing. Homeless, people without shelter, same damn thing. So they decided it would be a good idea to put these homeless people in these hotels and motels. But that's not it. Hey, people, this is California. This is San Francisco, inside of California. They weren't done yet. So they thought it would be a good idea to pay for these homeless people's alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana on the house, guys. There's a real life version of Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. I ain't never had no shit like this before in my life. Remember the scene where the girl snorted the Ajax off the counter? Man, if you haven't seen Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, you better get your life together. Anyway, so they thought it would be a good idea to foot the bill for all of their vices, right? So they said in the beginning that the money coming for the alcohol, tobacco, and weed was going to be for private funding. It wasn't going to come from public funds, not going to come from taxpayers' funds, because that would be stupid and ridiculous and wrong to pay for drugs, alcohol, and weed, or drugs, alcohol, and tobacco with taxpayer money. You wouldn't do that shit. Guess what? Yep. Turns out it's illegal to have people privately fund alcohol, tobacco, and weed. So guess where the money did come from after all? That's right, taxpayers' money. As if you're not taxed enough, San Fran shitskins. Like you're not taxed enough. Well, we're going to take a little bit of that money that should be going to potholes and security and shit like that, and we're going to buy these homeless people alcohol, tobacco, and weed. Guess what else happened? Just because you step across the threshold of a nice hotel doesn't mean you're all of a sudden going to be, hey, my good man. Nope. You're going to be just as homeless and wild as you were before you walked in there. So what's happening? Well, you got naked people running through the lobby. You got people ODing. 4 people have died in the last couple weeks in these fucking homeless hotels. These homeless Hiltons. 4 people. One of them was found dead in the hallway, still clutching the crack pipe. You got people bringing other people that don't live there inside of the hotel. Come on, baby. Let me take you over here. Don't even worry about it. I got free alcohol, tobacco, and weed, and a nice hotel to kick it in. This is like Dumb and Dumber when they got to the hotel. We're taking advantage of all the amenities. So it turns out San Francisco was full of shit once again. Mayor London Breed. That's not all. They're not giving out information under the something emergency act bullshit. Something they're using to say, well, because of this, we can't tell you exactly who's staying where and how much it's going to cost. Bullshit. You have the healthcare workers who are supposed to be there, the ones who are behaving, they have to sign disclaimers and non-disclosure agreements so they can't talk about what's really going on inside of these hotels. If they do, they can be fined up to $1,000 and hit with probation and or jail. Because they don't want shit to get out. Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You got shit costing $6,000 a month per person to stay in these hotels. And it's exactly what you thought it was going to be. You thought these homeless people were going to come in here and just kick it and behave? Homeless are going to homeless. So it's turned into a fucking drug-infested frat party, just like we thought it would. You can't just give nice shit to people and expect them to act according with the nice shit you just gave them. Shit, I want to be homeless. I want to stay in a nice hotel and get free alcohol, tobacco, and weed. Oh, they said that they cut out the tobacco. No more. They don't want to buy that shit for you because that's bad for your health. No more tobacco, people. It's a non-smoking facility. But the weed and the alcohol, don't even worry about it. I'll post a link in the description box to this article that I read. I think it's in the New York Post. The shit is disgusting. What you think was going to happen? You give a bunch of dummies who can't balance their budget even more money and extra resources, they're going to fuck it up. So what are they going to do with all these homeless people when this shit's over and they got to kick them out? And the hotel owners are getting fucked too, because who's going to cover all these damages? Who's going to fix their bad PR? Because now you're basically a homeless shelter. Who's going to want to come stay there? How clean is this place going to be? What's it going to look like? I'm not spending my hard-earned money to stay in the fucking Roach Motel. Come on. As soon as they said they were giving out, and I did a video about it, I don't know, a month or two ago, I talked about it a little bit. As soon as they said they were giving these people free alcohol, tobacco, and weed, I was like, how the fuck do you think this is gonna end? Oh, don't worry, private parties are gonna fund it. Yeah, right. The same people are gonna fund it who always fund it. The fucking taxpayer. Here, taxpayer, you feel those weights on your shoulders you're being crushed by? Boom, here's another plate for you. Clank. There's something else for you to pay for it. That thing just got a little heavier, didn't it? Fucking piece of shit. You piece of shit politicians. Time and time again, you prove to us that you cannot do your job. You're incompetent. Yet we keep handing you more responsibility. And you fuck it up every time. Now, let's move over a little bit. Let's cross the bridge into Oakland. If you know that old Too Short song, Oakland. Man. So Oakland has some of the worst performing schools in the state, not only the state, in the country. Mismanagement of funds, all these broken programs, dilapidated schools, some of the lowest paid teachers. Shit is fucked up. So because George Floyd got killed 2,000 miles away a couple months ago, somehow that gives these people the right to vote to remove campus police officers. That's like voting to remove soldiers from a war zone. That's what they did. The Oakland School District decided no more cops on campus, because of police brutality and slavery and all this other shit that has nothing to do with it. Why would you do that? These schools in Oakland are like fucking East Side High. There is no Mr. Clark. We have police officers. I went to high school with a campus resource officer, Officer Archie. If you happen to be watching this, what's up, man? I've run into him over the years, past 5-10 years. I've seen him a couple times. Nice guy, glad to see me. I'm glad to see him. When I saw him on campus when I was, I think, junior and senior, my junior and senior year, a friend of mine, we do the announcements, when you're going between classes and stuff, we do the announcements. So I was in the main office every day, and his office was in the main office. So I'd see him all the time. I'd say hello to him. I never had any run-ins with him. I wasn't one of these little thundercats out here acting up in school. So I never had any run-ins with them like that. I never heard anything bad. I knew some of these thundercats. I never heard him say anything bad about him. I never saw him doing anything he shouldn't have been doing. I never saw him handling a student in a manner that was too rough. I never saw or heard of anything like that. And there's a reason that these police officers are on these campuses. There's a reason for that. Because they're needed, because these schools are fucking violent. There's like one school nurse for 1,300 students. One counselor for every 600 students. That's crazy. How do you get anything done? How can you help anybody? Like social workers and shit who have 500 people on their caseload. How can you see all those people? How can you give all those people the quality time that they need and deserve? You can't help these kids when you're stretched too thin like that. But the Oakland School District, they fucked up all the money so they can't pay people to fill these positions. So now you decide, well, this is a good time to get rid of added security in the fucking school. For what? Because it makes you feel good? It makes you look good? It helps you virtue signal? All right, everybody, freeze. Step aside. Virtue signaling going on. I'm a professional. Let's make a way. Let's make a path here. Coming through. Virtue signaling PD. VSPD. At your service. What kind of stupid shit is that? Why are you hurting these kids even more? And since nobody wants to talk about them, I will. What about the kids who were there to learn? What about the kids who got up and got ready and came to school on time with a full stomach and enough sleep so they could pay attention and be good students? Kids that want to learn, kids that have a plan for life, kids that want to go on to do bigger and better things and want to perform well in high school. What about them? Fuck them. Just like they say fuck you to us regular citizens who don't believe in this CBLM bullshit, who aren't racist, who don't have a problem with POCs simply because they're a POC. Maybe they have a problem with them because they're an asshole. They don't dislike them because they're a POC. They dislike them because they're an AH. We got to get these acronyms right. Just like they say fuck us to the majority of society who wants secure borders and a minimally corrupt government, less taxes, less invasive action by our government. Get the fuck out of our life. But just like they say fuck you to us, they're saying fuck you to those kids who want to come to school and get an education. Your needs and wants don't matter. It's all about us looking good. That's what matters. We have to look like we give a shit. Just like all these companies. What is it, Coca-Cola? You got the parent company like Ben and Jerry's and shit, Hershey's. All these companies are saying that they're not going to advertise on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for at least 30 days. because these platforms need to police the hate speech and violent rhetoric more. Hate speech isn't even real. That's like saying, Facebook, we're not going to advertise with you until you get rid of all the unicorns. Those aren't real. Neither is hate speech. It's just speech. And you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want. Again, like capitalism, the public will handle it. If you're saying some wild, crazy shit that most people don't agree with, eventually you will go away. No one will click on your shit. You will go bye-bye. We don't need intervention. We don't need more policing. We don't need more guidelines and more PC, bare-chested, Charmin handshake bullshit. The soy almond milk, no lactose whipped pussy drink. We don't need that anymore. We have too much of it already. But that's how serious this shit is. That's how dangerous it is. They're willing to screw these kids over just so they can look good, just so they can look like they're not racist. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Not in this case. That's fucked up. Those kids need as much security as they can get. Did you ever stop to think that school is probably the safest place for some of these kids? The relationships these officers have built with these kids? They don't give a shit. That's not the main focus. That's how I know this bullshit ain't real. Because you're not focusing on the real issues. Police brutality? Man, get the fuck out of here. That's not an issue. That's not a concern. All you got to do to avoid that is stay the fuck away from the police. It's harder for them to brutalize you if you're not around them. That's why I don't care about the king cobra epidemic in Southeast Asia, because I don't live there and I don't got to worry about getting bit by no damn cobra. I'm not around them. So what? So stupid ass shit. Poor kids. Poor damn kids. And you know what? It's not all the city of Oakland's fault, because somebody put these kids on earth. Somebody laid down and let someone go, 9 months later, somebody created these damn kids. It's your responsibility too. Because if you're sending well-mannered, well-rested, well-fed children to school, chances are they might not need that campus police officer, because there won't be this threat of violence and fucking danger at school. You poor kids. You poor, poor kids. You are getting crushed under this machine because it is focused. And its focus is to look good, not to help you and give you a good springboard into life. No, that's not the focus anymore. The focus is virtue signaling. BSPD. Step aside. I'm about to step in this damn rat race. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.